On to our next topic, and it's all
Come at me,
about Rogue
bitches.
One. Felicity Jones' final scene took a full week to film. I think they
Oh,
just liked the seaside, John. I think they liked the beach setting there. Now they were just milking it. But this is the scene, John, the final shot of Jin and Cassian embracing on the beach.
I took a
It's
week.
considered it's considered heartbreaking. They got a tan by the end of it. Well, they really did get a tan, didn't they, with the blast?
Yeah.
Considered heartbreakingly beautiful, which it was. And Jones told the Hollywood Reporter that the pivotal final scene took a whole week to film. Check out Jones's description of what it was like filming her final Rogue One scene below. Well, I'll just read this, John. It's just a short paragraph anyway. We shot it every single evening over a week to get the right light of sunset, to get the perfect pink light. So we knew that scene inside out by the end of the week. It was just amazing to see how it morphed and shifted and changed. We shot that film in a very visceral, naturalistic, gritty way, which I think is why so many people responded to it. I think they loved it. I think they loved that it felt so real and had elements of the 70s Star Wars film that had that similar feeling of naturalism and reality. I totally agree, John. It was we went into that film obviously to see Darth Vader,
Yeah.
and really to
Darth.
see how these rebels got these plans. But aside from that, the look of the film, the feel of the film was very A New Hope. They nailed it. They nailed it aesthetically. They nailed it with the characters. I felt the pacing as well was very much like A New Hope as well. Very quick. You see that in the first 10 minutes.
First
They
half hour.
visited about
Boom, boom,
six
boom, boom,
planets
boom.
in about 10 minutes. It was absolutely frenetic. But John, what's your take on this? Because it's one of the scenes that we did enjoy in the cinema, and we'd still talk about the score. Obviously, the score during that part.
Michael Giacchino.
May the
Your
Force be with you, Rogue One.
yeah.
But it was a great scene.
Stephen, I loved the score just prior to it as well. Your father would be proud. That was my standout
Yeah.
movement, if you'd like, piece. I don't know what you'd call it. I'm not some classical music aficionado. I do like it though. I have a violin. I just can't play it. So I get it. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that scene. I thought it was beautiful, and that was down to Tony Gilroy ultimately
Yeah.
coming in and sorting the script out. Gareth Edwards is a decent director. He's not really done much after it. By all accounts, he created a lovey-dovey sort of Disney-esque everyone survives at the end movie, and that's just not right for this. We knew these
Can't
characters
be.
didn't have a part to play in the original Star Wars
Yeah.
movie, so it wasn't right that they survived, and then you had to explain where they were during the events of A New Hope. So he came in, Tony Gilroy,
Yeah.
and he changed it. He made it darker, more gruesome. Vader cutting people up, them all dying. And that made it a
John,
more powerful experience because
yeah.
you connected to these people. You connected to Jin in particular, her relationship with Galen Russell, of course, the great Mads Mikkelsen. One of the best acting moments in a Star Wars movie when Galen meets
It
her
was
again
emotional,
via
yeah.
the holograph or whatever the hell it's called. It's been a while since I've dabbled with Star Wars, so I've lost the plot slightly. Is it holograph or is it
I think it's
hologram?
holograph, yeah.
Holograph. That was a powerful moment.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was better, Stephen, when they all died, and that scene was one of the more
John,
poignant moments. That and
yeah.
K2SO.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was going to mention that as well, but the sacrifice itself, John, adds weight to obviously the final assault in A New Hope. I feel, because the minute that Luke destroys the Death Star, you can look back at those events prior to that now and the sacrifice, what they went through to lead up to that moment. And I felt that Gilroy bringing him in was probably the best thing. I think, Lucasfilm and Disney would perhaps maybe have been satisfied with a happy, lovey-dovey ending, like you said. But I think from a narrative, and I think Star Wars hardcore as well, fans within Lucasfilm would have advised these guys have to die. They have to sacrifice. That's what's at stake. It has to be. It can't be a happy ending because they're not in A New Hope. None of them survived. And I think it just adds weight to A New Hope as well. So. I thought it was a great scene. The score, John, the score was amazing. It's one of the best scores out with a John Williams score.
Stephen, you get a lot of shit, Michael, for that, but if you do recall, he had 2 to 3 weeks. He had to step in. I think it was someone else originally scoring it. He stepped in at short notice, took over, and he done a great job. I thought it was really well scored. Michael Giacchino was an amazing composer. He's up and coming. Almost seen as the heir apparent to John Williams for a while, but his stock's dropped a little bit, but he's still great. You're right what he says about adding some real sort of emotive moment to that final scene, or the moment where the Death Star's destroyed in A New Hope. Chris Weitz, I think it was. I've actually looked at Weitz. I can't pronounce his name. I think he was the guy who wrote it prior to Tony Gilroy. And of course, if you recall correctly, he was looking at the opening crawl from A New Hope, and they seen that little moment. Spies worked hard or something. I can't recall. I'm heavily paraphrasing here. They worked to get their hands on the Death Star plans.
John Knoll, yeah.
Was it John? Was that him?
John Knoll, yeah.
Yeah, well, he picked it out and he says, look, we can adapt something from this. And you're right, the way that could have went really badly, it could have screwed up how we viewed the very first Star Wars movie, but it didn't. It lent so much more to it. And that's down to the care and the attention and the hard work from the likes of Felicity Jones and Diego Luna, spending a week on that very scene. But although, I will prefix it with this, it was actually Felicity, it says that. It was Felicity Jones. A little bit snooty there. Just a little bit pretentious, visceral and naturalistic and gritty way. Come on. You were standing on a beach holding hands. They'd done that in another movie. I can't recall the one. It was that disaster movie, the tsunami swept through. I think it was Deep Impact. And the daughter went with her father. Bet it didn't take him a week. Come on. No. Don't be so snooty, Felicity. Come on then.
It's time to go. Pardon the pun. But
probably needed
we're going to move on.
As you did say, to be fair.
That's it, yeah. We're going to move on anyway to our next topic, John.